One of the other things that people commonly do is when they go and see like, okay, these 1 to 3 ads got all the distribution and they're bringing me the right types of customers, a really good historical best practice would be to go film more ads that have that same kind of messaging, right? Now, if you do that in the age of Andromeda, you're gonna just pigeonhole yourself to that specific messaging pocket. It's kind of like drilling more wells, right? Let me just give you a visual here so you can understand this, right? Let's say you and I bought a plot of land and it's got some pockets of water underneath it, right? And some of those pockets of water are real fucking big and some of them are real small. So you go up top and we drill a well down and we start extracting water, okay? Now, if I just consistently exploit the same messaging in all my future ads that I go film, I'm actually gonna have a bad time because all I'm really doing is I'm just putting more wells into the same pocket audience. I'm reducing the amount of people that are inside of that specific pocket faster. And what I'm actually doing is I'm increasing the probability that I hit a ceiling or potentially am extracting too much to where I dry out that audience. What you really want to do in this day and age of Andromeda is you want to continue exploring more messaging. Sure, like you're going to come across an occasional pocket that's very small and that you're only going to be able to spend like maybe a couple $100s a day into, maybe less, right? But you'll be able to ride it out at that and turn it into a foundational campaign. What you really want to consistently try to find are those larger pockets, right? And those larger pockets, you only find them through consistently varying your messaging. You understand? So don't get attached onto one specific type of message. Try to vary and don't pigeonhole yourself. It's kind of like creating an echo chamber. Okay, and then just to be clear, we get this question a lot as well when it comes to the messaging has stopped working, and it relates to what I was just describing. So the question is, my messaging stopped working. What should I do? So we treat it like this, okay? Just as I just described with this analogy here where I'm like, hey, like treat it like you're, sucking water out of the ground. I also compare it to oil fields where I'm like, all right, look, oil is technically a non-renewable resource. And so if I'm extracting oil out of the ground, nothing replenishes it, okay? There's like a finite amount of people in a given market at a given time that are probable to convert on a given set of messaging, right? And when you look at it from that perspective and you look at it like the well analogy where you're drilling wells into the ground and you're exploiting these audiences, eventually they could run dry. And it's tough to tell. Like sometimes all it takes is like you start to see some points where your messaging's not working, just pull back the spend a little bit in that example and see if it's more like an aquifer that's fed by a spring. Try to see if it replenishes, right? Because if you can spend a certain amount per day, but you just can't scale it, that means that, yeah, there's an amount of people there that exist, but there's also a new amount of people that enter that appeal for whatever that type of messaging appeals to. There's more people that enter into that pocket as time goes on. You just can't extract more than what exists at its rate of replenishment. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, moral of the story, sometimes it's like an oil field where it will run dry and you'll have to abandon that type of messaging and get new messaging. In other instances, you hit a certain pocket, but you can only scale to a certain point in that pocket. That's where those campaigns become foundational campaigns and you just try to maintain them instead. Very important consideration, right? You just got to continue to vary messaging. And by the way, we have plenty of videos on this channel that also would imply to you, which is a great solution to also think with, that you might just need a new funnel. You could take the same type of messaging and have a different funnel paired with it, and that can also create a wild difference in results that you experience on the other side of that. So consider that too.